Hello, welcome to the world of Captain Underpants and the Attack of the Talking Toilets. Chapters 5 to 8. Let's get started.
I thought you said 4 to 6.
Chapter 5. Bigger and Better Things. George and Harold went to the other end of the gymnasium, opened their backpacks, and began to work. George busied himself by turning all the spray nozzles on the automatic dog washer around, while Harold filled up the soap tank with India ink. Then they moved on to the volcano detector. Will you please pass me the big bag of butterscotch pudding and a Phillips head screwdriver? Asked Harold. Sure, said George, as he carefully inserted the eggs into the electric ping pong ball server. Chapter 6. The Invention Convention. The following day started out sunny and cheerful. The students actually filed into the gymnasium and checked the seats very carefully before sitting down. Greetings, said Mr. Crump, who was standing up by the microphone. You don't need to worry about sticky seats today, he said. I've taken measures to ensure that this invention convention won't be a disaster like last year. Everyone settled in as Madison Mancy, a third grader, stepped on stage to demonstrate her automatic dog washer. First, said Madison, you put your dog in the tub. Then you press this button. Madison pressed the start button. At first, nothing happened. Then suddenly, a spurt of inky black water sprayed up and out over the crowd. Everyone except the dog got soaked. As Madison tried desperately to turn off the sprayers, I can't stop it, she cried. Someone turned all the noses round. Now who could have done that? Asked Mr. Crump. Next up was Donnie Shoemaker with his electric ping pong ball server. He turned the machine on, and instantly it began hurling an actual great eggs into the crowd. Whoop, 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 bing, went the machine. Splat, splat, splat. Went the eggs. I can't turn out the machine off, cried Donnie. Someone jam a paperclip into the controller. Now who could have done that? Freddie Moore, volcano detector, was also a big flop. When Freddie connected to the circuits into a 9-volt battery, a large spring, which had been hammered into the center of his miniature volcano, launched a giant plastic bag of the butterscotch pudding high into the crowd. It landed somewhere between the third and the fourth rows. Splat! Hey! whined Freddie. Someone put pudding in my volcano. Now who could have done that? Mr. Meaner asked Mr. Meaner. The rest of the day went on much the same way, with people shouting everything like from, hey, who put on me and my solo leaf blower, to, hey, who let all the mice on my treadmill dune boogie. It wasn't long before everyone flew the gymnasium, and the second annual invention convention had to be called off. How could this have happened? cried Mr. Crump, as he wiped chocolate syrup, pencil shavings, and cream of mushroom soup off his face and shirt. George and Harold had been in study at hall all day long. I put them there by himself. Excuse me, Mr. Crump, said Melvin neatly. I think I have an answer to your question. Chapter 7. Busted! Ba-ching! Crash! Went the door to the study hall room. Mr. Crop stomped in like a crazy person. George and Harold had never seen him this upset before. You boys are in so much trouble, Mr. Crop shouted. I'm putting you two on permanent detention for the rest of the school year. Wait a second, cried George. You can't prove anything. Yeah, said Harold. We've been here all day. Mr. Crop smiled devilishly and looked toward the door. Oh, Melvin, he called. Melvin neatly stepped into the room covered in mustard, eggshells, and shredded coconut. They did it, Melvin said, pointing at George and Harold. I saw them last night in the gym. Melvin, cried George, horrified. You promised. I changed my mind, Melvin said, grimly snuggling. Have fun in detention. Chapter 8, The Adventure Convention Detention. After school, Mr. Crumb ushered George and Harold into the detention room and wrote a long sentence on the chalkboard. From now on, growled Mr. Crumb, you boys will spend 2 hours a day after school copying this sentence over and over. I want every chalkboard in this room filled completely. Turned and said with an evil grin. And if either of you leaves this room for any reason, I'm gonna suspended you both out of the school. Now, as you might have guessed, writing sentences was nothing new to George and Harold. The two boys waited until Mr. Crumb left the room. Then they each took 4 homemade wooden rods out of their backpacks. The rods had a hole in them that George and Harold had drilled in George's dad's workshop. George screwed the rods together while Harold inserted a piece of chalk into each hole. Then they each took a pole and began copying Mr. Crumb's sentences. Every time they wrote one sentence, the wooden poles made 12. After about 3.5 minutes, every chalkboard in the room was completely filled. George and Harold sat down and admired their work. We got a lot of time on our hands now, said George. Got any ideas? Let's make a new comic book, said Harold. So the two boys took out some paper and pens and created an all-new adventure about their favorite superhero, It was called Captain Underpants and the Attack of the Talking Toilets. If you want to read 9 through 11 chapters, please link the description tomorrow. I'm gonna post it on tomorrow. Bye.